Osse and Rennyur, well, let's put it this way. Osse, I know I've spoken about this before, but some of these runners, you hope and pray when you face them. Osse used to be at the top of that list. Probably still is, just has been doing some other things lately, but like another thing I mentioned is you don't get to this point in the tournament without getting back to where you need to be. So both these runners are going to be doing quite well, I think, today here. We should have a pretty quick handling of whatever seed this happens to be. We'll get this synced up here soon, but let's see if anybody goes to Super Metroid first, but doesn't look like it. So just 20 on the island. I saw a vanilla green pendants as far as I got. That might have been a bumped button there, even though I wasn't able to make use of it any better. Let's see here. Okay, so Metroid tokens for the bosses on the other two Light World dungeons. So, easy morph today. This is a change for me, at least covering this tournament. Hook shot to go with it. Another piece of movement for now, if nothing else. To go with these boots that we do start with. This is 774, 7 to get into Ganon's Tower crystals, 7 to defeat Ganon, and all 4 Metroid bosses. Now, when I say bosses, I mean wherever the credits for them happen to be. They can be in Link to the Past, just as Super Metroid bosses can have Link to the Past crystals and pendants even. We'll see if that happens today. Yeah, we don't know much, Chad. Just, it's not going to be, from appearances, the way I'm used to seeing things go here. If we have a morph already, we just need to come up with some bombs and things of that nature. Okay, that's 20. I was not sure, and neither was Osse for a minute. Rennyur skipping this 20 in the forest. Not a ton of chances to get to your 100 by the time you get to the bottle vendor, so let's see what Osse does with it. Doesn't want it either. Alright. Try this other tree pull here just to 4. Here's the Kakariko run. We're gonna hope for money bilaterally here. But with Super Metroid items in the mix, it's not as common of an occurrence as it would be, as I say. 300 air will take care of things. Some things. Don't know that I've seen hook speed, spin speed, whatever done there, as I see both runners now do it. All the times I see this, I don't know that I've Use Blind's entrance for that. Huh. So speed booster, which normally would be like an uh-oh, but this will be nice, I think, because we're gonna see at least one power bomb pack with a sword there for $100. So green Bryn and all that looks like will be a good early option. Won't have to isolate anything. Rennyur's going to buy some bombs here just to get ahead of things. Another 3, so I guess that works out well. Be able to do Zoro at our leisure. Didn't catch that, but obviously nothing. Closest thing to nothing you can get. I was trying to figure out where Rennyur's need for the bombs came from, as I didn't catch a count before the purchase was made. And Osse had, a bunch, and still does now. That's the only difference we have so far. Still waiting on his power bombs. No, good call. An 8 drop, so chaos packs. So not 100% sure on what that means. Never have been, but I guess they tie into the enemy groups somehow, but the packs themselves are randomized. They repeat, but point is, it's not uncommon to see one runner miss something nice early like that another runner may get. Regardless, Rennyur back in front here, just on choices, I suppose. None of that means anything right now. I'll see stair pumping just a little early there. You do what you can do. There's a bottle here behind flippers. Will necessitate a return trip to Sick Kid, but not immediately. Also going to use a bomb to get lined up quick and easy on the tile's edge there to get in the water without getting kicked out. Yeah, this is a good point. Rennyur's able to get into Waterfall Cave and do all that with boots. Osse foregoing that possibility for now, at least, to do Man Under the Bridge. But we'll not be able to do... Now, hold up. Never mind. I missed a step. Okay, so Osse saved a water walk from Ice Rod Cave and kept it by using that bomb. That's the point of that. you see all this in pieces, but I don't know that I've seen it put together that way before. It's definitely, as chat's referring to, thorough play, to be sure. And it's not too bad efficiency, really. I guess, never thought about it. Now, I think if you have a Moon Pro, you can store another water walk in case that ledge item is something, but it is not, and at least we can eyeball it anyway. So just a small refund here. To Hyrule Castle goes Rennyur. See what Osse does here going to the house, so probably the same thing. Yep. We'll meet in here and get at least 3 boxes done, probably 4. We have a good way to get to Dark Cross. They're a little slow, but they're early, and you don't want to leave anything in here for sure. And you're just going to chop down a ball and chain guard here. Almost got done. Oh, we're trying to damage down a bit here so we can go back to Dark Cross. Thankfully, that heart piece was not a 4th. Didn't see the charge there before. That's nice to have for sure. It's just a matter of some other beams. 1 or 2 would be good. And we can actually use it for things late game. But you might see the runners start to dial down on ammo pickups just from here. Figuring that beams are a likely idea, or a likely option to have placed in the game in front of you. Not sure what room skips these. Okay, I was going to say, if we're still going, you have to have had a key. So it actually did that pretty well. Half Magic is another nice early item. And now there's Power Bombs. It's not our guaranteed pack, as it's Bacchosphere, but at least it is a pack. So you're going to be behind either lamp or glove. Getting another one ideally would be good before we head to Super Metroid. Options to seek the guaranteed pack would, I guess, involve Eastern and Retro Bryn, the one check down there, but don't know if anybody really wants to do those. Thought Rennyur was going to hit that cactus again there. It was close. It's a 20 on the ledge, and it's good to scout that, especially with boots. But in a game like this where you can last locate stuff easily, It's good to have that information. So speed was from chat a well, the well in Kakariko. Osse picks up those power bombs too. So yeah, we have enough, like, to get through what you see now both runners doing, just not the greatest package on the planet. You might see maybe Red Tower. It looks like what Rennyur's going to do. I was going to do, do this first. That makes sense. Speed will give you this. Might even, I don't know, maybe check Gauntlet here, or at least the first bit. Charge a Spark, thought about it maybe, but is going to keep going over here. This way the power bombs don't mess you up too badly when you only have the 5. You don't require a ton down here. Osse is headed at least toward Wreck Ship. A little bit of camera manipulation there. I never remember how to do that in order to, because if you just go straight up, you can't see that item. It wants to see if it's worth continuing after Wreck Ship, which I imagine is what Osse is going to continue to do here as he finds his mirror already. Dungeon movement, if nothing else. At which time we get back to Link to the Past. But the Red Tower play from Rennyur, I did, like I said, I like this. It'll get you ultimately onto the mountain at a save point as you find another set of power bombs. Again, back at spheres, so still one earlier than this that we can find, but 10 is way better than 5. 15 is the ideal to move around without a lot of hindrance, but 10 will be good. And mail there, which we can start collecting now. We have that mirror and don't have to worry about death warp time spent or anything like that. So Fantine's starting fast here for Osse. Probably wasn't maybe quite ready for it. They show here at Spazer check for Rennyur, and one more thing to put on the list upon a return trip to Zelda. What point we want to do that's hard to say. Ideally, now that we know where Mirror is, you do it with Stumpy, but that could take a while. It's going to forgo Kraid for the moment. It's an easy in and out, regardless of what's in there. Saucy gets Fantoon done. Holding his own soul, as it were. Business center, just check that we'd make here today. So back to this cross game, which will send us to the mountain. We'll be able to get the old man even in the dark here and get that save point. Do that now. Osse wants a couple more power bombs here. It's good heads up. So this will be one of these missiles maybe you pick up if you don't have charge, right? But we'll skip this one. Say grapple beam under the rock up on the mountain. Yeah, we'll want to pick that one up. Locks a few things. Soft locks a few more at this stage. One of which is that X-ray check that Skipsy just passed up, but there's no... It's kind of the way it goes on that one. You have to generally get past it in this seat, I think, to make it to here. So hopefully it's nothing too spectacular. Check the reserve location here. Elite yields just a 20. It's usually to save time pushing through work robots, so imagine it means Osse will go do bowling. Just bad bit of timing there getting that sky missile block open, but we'll just try it again, point down, find our nothing, and move on. Collect this E-tank we found before. So no bowling. Just wanted to get one of those 3 checks done. It says a little slow to do, so hopefully we don't need to come back. Rennyur getting bodied by that Moldrum at the top. It's always has this way of getting around your sword when you really prefer that not to happen. Osse missed the D-boost on the first one. It's okay, it's not the worst. Gets it on the other one. So like Rennyur now will save, quit, come back here, go ahead and do what I imagine will be the whole Bryn loop. Taking a refill here, may choose to, I was gonna say, maybe you check Bomb Terizo here and then you can reset it. But we'll get that later. Osse will do X-ray now. This is an Osse move for sure. Make sure you're hitting those waivers as opposed to the spikes when suitless. It's almost like He's done this before. So we'll see that grapple beam does anything for us here. Nope, just a 20. Rennyur through Gauntlet, nothing yet. We have 2 down here, just a screen down. And there again, making a choice to save time on 1. We'll take the energy and skip the ammo. We have a reason to avoid that ammo, like I'd mentioned. But pending suits, you might want to have some energy. Osse springballing across the little drop down there on the way to Spacer. That's probably not the most trivial piece of timing. At least to guarantee it. And we'll see what Osse is going to head to Kraid here. No Kraid still for Rennyur. Plasma, though, and a sword behind that early speed booster. So that's the beam that's going to instantly make future ammo trivial. We want a couple for Ridley, but after this, I think we're good. We'll run into a few, and there, oh yeah, I didn't see that on the way through. Another sword. Yeah, that plasma opens up charge for sure. And all the X-ray stuff that we have yet to do here in Super Metroid. Microwave related things. Kraid for Osse. Kraid is up. Osse doesn't like the pattern. Try again, but did not get all of them in, so we're going to have to sit them down. So yeah, if we saw a map from Rennyur on here, which is what I was wondering, and I'm guessing we didn't. So yeah, we were going to need Kraid clear from everybody today as we find our flute. Good for movement and mire access pending myths. Not 100% required in any seed, unless items dictate. So that should solve the any money problems we may have had for the rest of the seed right there. Rennyur looking to keep the super block here that blocks the what normally would be the escape from Spore Spawn just loaded in enough to be able to destroy it and skip that whole bit of mess. Gets it with a small manipulation, even more money, so that would be Rennyur's third. Osse just picking up a different one. So we're all good financially now. Osse will head to the mountain, pick up those few things that Rennyur did. So Rennyur's going to try to get a couple of supers back here. Happy with the 2. Confident we'll be able to get the wave gate skip here with it. And good pattern of movement there, so does in one try. That one's free. We'll pick that one up. Yeah, that's a beam at a beam location. Space there, we don't want that. We have our overriding beam already. Yeah, I didn't see that at all, but Rennyur wants to make sure that power bomb that drops doesn't despawn on the way back. Finding an E-tank here, so we'll just collect it. So sometimes you got to shake your fingers out there with the wall jumps. They're free till they're not. I've done similar things often. Sometimes it's just a hardware thing. Maybe you bump up and down on the way and break your spin, but hopefully there won't be much more of that. Rennyur wants to try to get the mock ball with the blue suit here. Gets it there, so saves some time on that and some lag. See, back to Zelda was gonna get that shovel now. Just a feeling about it, I suppose. Might go ahead and turn in a bottle on the way. Out of logic as it may be. Unless there was another one, I don't remember, but we do find the flippers, and that feeling, if there was one, was on point. Doesn't currently unlock anything, but we are gonna need them. Almost certainly. Oh, there I'm talking about that bottle. Yeah, it would be in logic. Now, the one I do know about is just made in logic by those flippers, so I'm guessing that'll get turned in here once this duck gets done dancing. So just a 20 to end that little chain, but the flippers are a good enough piece of payment. I'll see now to employ the duck head. Yeah, I was gonna say desert or maybe eastern, but after this check of Vagina, we'll have a choice to make. Small one. Rennyur, a couple of pumps on the wall jump there, because wall jumping where they was going to was going to break the screw back and knock them down, so. Rennyur's had enough hearts, it looks like, that, you know, minus the ones we're going to run into, I suppose. So run your back to the ship. It's primarily for a refill. Take a save regardless. This will probably be wrecked ship for them. Or I'm just wrong. That's common. Maybe wants a piece of Zelda now. Guess I didn't catch this not being done. That would be a good reason for a refill. Not to leave this behind too long. I guess just a matter of counts, and I guess I pay closer attention when I'm playing. I was just not able to get all that stuff, and when it's supers there at 230 on our bucket, and with the counts we currently have, yeah, I guess you could reset it, but since we do need a few, it makes sense that we don't leave those there. Plus, reset to the ship probably doesn't even save that much time. Rennyur's mirror here, and just a little slow getting out. Want to save a power bomb, so we'll back up and take a shot there. Osse's gravity, which Rennyur had before doing wreck shift, as we see now. Just minor bit of peace of mind, I guess, in case you fall in the motion getting over, or you take a little more damage than you're expecting, something like that. You have enough tanks that I don't suppose that's a big concern. Yeah, both runners still on those 10 power bombs. Neither of the 2 packs of which are the guaranteed ones. So I'm putting money on Eastern for that. Not something we're going to make a special trip for, but we really want one. Pretty confident that we know where to go get one. Yeah, Rennyur, the X-ray package has to, yeah, get started with a missile here. at least, and now does pull out the X-ray and gets it done in one cycle. So Osse almost got back out of Mission Impossible, got caught in the block on the way up. No big deal. We're headed this direction anyway. Osse with the same movement pattern that Rennyur had to get through Wavegate, and at the 30 frames we're running here, almost couldn't see what was done. It was that fast. Let's see if Rennyur re-enters this room for the extra 2 power bombs. No. Don't need him to do what we're doing now, but sometimes could be nice to have, but those doors take a while. Osse face planting in the spacer there. Sad trombone. This is ice rod that I did not catch before, so as we've seen recently, that's something that we'll probably need, and if so, it's nice to have out of the way early. So it just turns your go mode hunt into something else, however. We're still missing reads on 2 of the pendants, so we might not need it, but you don't want to leave it here. Question about Osse's ice rod. See, I said what I said because I thought Osse did make that check, but I will defer on that. If he didn't, I guess would explain why I didn't see it before. If that is the case, at least Osse does have other checks to make back there at such a later time when he feels like it might be a good idea. If anybody's looking, I appreciate it. Not really set up to do it. Osse, there was some chatter at the start of this about Osse liking to make some longer low-density skips, and if that's the case, I suppose that's quite qualified as one. Yeah, so our tracker's checking out Osse's stream where a personal tracker exists, says that it's not there, so it's like I said, I guess it would explain why I didn't see it. I bounce around and tend to assume that movements get made, so that's a quirk I bring here that doesn't always help, but yeah, we'll see if we do need it first, but then hopefully Osse will get back to it if we do. In combination with what you see Rennyur doing right now, which is also skipped. So he gets a short charge, just a itty bit misplaced on the spark, however. And unless there's some piece of strategy I don't know about, maybe just had a second thought here and go ahead and check the climb supers instead. Moon falling to get back down. Was going to collect this hard container. Yes, from what Peachy's saying, if it was an issue of power bone counts, as Osse only had 5 at the time, it could have well, in that case, played into the skip of bowling as well, just keeping it all together to make coming back a little more palatable if we get that far and still need stuff. And if that's the case, then probably I'd say confidence of making it there is not too much of a question. I mean, it's still a long way back, so we'll see. Here, check back in an hour, I guess. This will be the eyeball of Monterrizo for Osse. Almost got the spark out. Wasn't sure if a save had preceded us. Guess not. So we'll just fight for our lunch money here. It's a revisit of X-ray here for Rennyur. I was gonna hoping this might get left alone, but too much worry with the grapple. And no blame for doing this, just didn't turn in anything. I guess I missed a moon pearl. We're talking about Dark World access, which yet does exist through Meridia. Apparently I just totally missed the moon pearl. Unless it was just now. But since everybody has it, I'm guessing not. So we got one of those pendants on Ice Palace, Pod and Mire for the red crystals, and a blue crystal on TR, so Osse will at some point need to get back to Rick's ship. Oh, it's Pearl and Paradox. See, I saw a bunch of that, and it all looked mostly like garbage to me, and I guess if the Moon Pearl didn't do anything at the time, I sometimes ignore things like that. It's a bow here in Hera. I'll see having a bit of a fit with the speed pot there, but it's going to go to the backup and get through pretty easily, I'd say, with that setup. The other item in hair is just a heart piece, so we know we don't have to do anything too crazy in here after Moldorn. That's always good. So Osse now to collect this grapple beam and come to another choice. So yeah, maybe headed back into Super Metroid, and that's what's going on. To do what exactly? Not sure. Osse did do Kraid, where Rennyur still needs to get back to at some point. But yeah, this does look like the Meridia path through for Osse. Rennyur's already in here finding his finding their hammer. So it's coming together. We still need a glove at some point. Would be nice. Space jump here. That will be a good piece of movement. He's gonna, yeah, it happens to me too. You get to the top of the paint leg here and just get knocked down. You think you did everything right, but he's gonna push this grapple beam, see if it's worth anything else, since X-ray wasn't. This is a lot really fire, given all that, along with our current position. Didn't see the gold sword earlier, so that's sword percent all around. Just a whole heart, not gonna bother. But we will keep space jump, so yeah, as a result of that, we're gonna have to walk all the way back around. Probably okay. Since I guess, yeah, both runners are figuring at this point they're gonna be leaving via the back door. Let's see what Osse does here with sand pits. It's like nothing for the moment. This is interesting. Rennyur going this way is going to skip green gate glitch. To go back around might do crate while they're here. And that looks like about what's going to happen. Good call. That is the other rod. So Osse has one. I suppose Rennyur will run into that too. I don't see them going anyway other than back to Meridia after this. Osse a little short on the charge to half the attempt here. And again, no sandpit trips or no space. We're just going to have to sludge, whatever. There's a word there. Get through this. I would say the slow way, but Osse's making it look like absolutely nothing. Yeah, a little high that first shot. Otherwise, the pattern was good for Rennyur. So everybody's dealing with Toby. And from chat, there's your flute right there. I forgot, so thank you, Rennyur. And regardless of flippers, I was also waiting to see if one of those pendants was going to be Swamp House. Because then we wouldn't actually need them, but not to be the case, so we do today. Rennyur, I think we'll run into it, you know, with mirror, especially in hand and all that. Now, I guess we didn't see that, or we just did it anyway. One of the two. Either way, that is the last pendant. I guess, yeah, it did have to be either here or Ridley. So apologies to Osse if it did do a map check, and this is just all part of the plan, but... For that matter, I don't know if Rennyur did one either. We'll see how far they go as we're headed back toward the eastern half here again. And Batoon, while not necessary here, would be a good idea. Being that that fire rod is right behind. So just heart piece and something else we don't care about. Osse's space jump there. Yeah, it's gonna continue down. Maybe go to the right, yeah, and run into that heart container. So imagine that'll be a mirrored piece of routing, keeping all of that. Maybe. Osse may not keep space jump, but give it a minute here. So the thing I talked about the other day, the Cajun Express, where we microwave a snake. A little bit undercooked, which is kind of the problem with the express restaurants. Anyway, there goes Botwoon, and an actual item that's capable of cooking coming in short order here for Rennyur. Maybe a minor thought, maybe we'll get it later on the way back, but I'll just get it now. So yeah, Osse's headed out, we'll keep Space Jump as well. And yeah, Rennyur as well. Map check or no, headed toward Dragon to finish. I mean, there's 2 items in here, so it's incentive, I guess, not to bother with the map and just go, but you see the difference in high jumpless, space jumpless, halfyless. One of those big stadium names for that room, I forget what it is. Differences, though, between Osse and Rennyur. If you just hit a few walls, it adds to your time. And yeah, Rennyur does, in fact, have space jump to avoid all that. Just chose not to use it. Just a 100-piece there, no save from Osse either, which I guess on that route you can't really do, so we're just gonna have to get out of here. Shrimp a little more palatable for most of us. Well done, I'd say. And you get a medal for finishing your meal. So out the back door now, finally, for Osse. If you're going full clear Meridia, that's a good time to make that happen. But we're going to get out here, see how far we got to go, I guess, before we don't have to worry anymore about coming back this way. But regardless of what it may cause, I'm going to say it like I say every time. Do not die here. Repeating that is not fun. Now, red mail, probably we're alright. So we're going to go ahead and dip pod here and use our bow, which could make a more in logic than we would have had otherwise. So probably a good stop to make. Maybe we have the hammer too, never mind, it's a great stop to make. Double glove and hype cave from chat would be hilarious, especially considering it's at the end of the lap here that we have to make, given our loadout. So that'd be fun, but for the runners, hopefully you just find one in here at least. So yeah, Rennyur here. Gonna check this shovel, and it's gonna kind of work out. I mean, you're gonna get the flippers, which you can leave Meridia without them, but is it fun? Not really. But we'll find them now, probably not be mega thrilled. Get a bottle turned in as well. And the flute, I believe, also needs done. Okay. So I don't remember where powder was, but I'm going to guess that Osse did not have it on the way. We have a cane here on Magic Bat, so that's good. So you either didn't have it or just chose not to grab it. I'm not actually sure. Sorry about that, but be another one Osse you'll have to go back for. At any rate, helmet down. The second crystal, first Zelda crystal. So I guess no big deal. 2 prizes of each kind either way. We'll now go ahead and finish up the back of Pod. Hair now for Rennyur. Pick up the goodies from in here. So that part at least will work out. Rennyur may not have had flippers, but didn't have a bow either to do what Osse is now doing. So a little bit of a makeup for that circumstance. Yeah, still looking for those gloves. I can tell you that when gloves are late, they're really late. It seems like majority of the time that this happens. Rennyur just getting a little bodied by a worm. If you're gonna fall there though. It's nice and quick to get back up. That'll be token number 2 of 4 for Rennyur. See, on we go. Are we? Yeah, maybe Spike Cave. No, we can't do that. We forgot we can't do that. He's gonna get the whole way there, though, unfortunately. It's a good thought. I mean, cape and all that. Yeah. And there's your power bombs. There's our sphere 0-1 power bombs. Finally. First thing in here. Rennyur walking back out of Spike Cave. I don't know, I guess, sure. Maybe a small rattle there, realizing you can't actually check Spike Cave. It's probably equal to just save and quit. Yeah, Osse being in Eastern at all right now is a choice. That's one you can get back to without playing around with Meridia, and it's a pendant. So it's just called hoping something's in here, and I guess had a second thought after that compass chest. Took a bit, but wants to be done with it. Unless that might have been 3 items actually. Took my eye off it. Just getting away from the murder bird there. You can time that, but this is not a route, you know, your people usually do. SMZ3 things, I guess. I do want to say that that dash line there you saw Osse abort. He would have been fine, but I think he saw he was going to be able, or he's going to take a hit there. Which is kind of just shades of stuff that has happened here in the past when somebody did not survive that and had a Meridia access point, so yeah. Glove in here would be even fancier than Pyramid, since that didn't happen. Just some pizza today. But we are on the counterclock route, so we're gonna do it all. Rennyur now in the Dark World, gonna follow Osse through Pod and maybe Eastern as well. Okay, Osse not doing Ether currently. And let's hope we can get a good way back here if we need it. Want to go double check. Does have the cape, so yeah, I don't know on that one. I will say, I've seen medallions on race game before in one rando or another, and just decided I'd get it later. And of course, I guess that would have been because I'd do dig gaming and mirror over or something. It's spicier than I like to do, let's put it that way. And welcome on in, Vorpal Glaive. And for anybody else just joining, this is SMZ3. It's Super Metroid and Zelda 3. They're put together, and there's a couple places you go between the games. We are running a tournament for this. Game 3 here between Osse and Rennyur. I should have come in here this time with the exact round of the brackets we're on, but it's not the first, that much I know. So whoever's playing has got more to do. And whoever doesn't gets to go back to whatever. That's a squashed bug for Osse. I'm going to pick up a crystal from here. Still an item to find. I was wondering. But yeah, holy smoke makes it, the point that I wanted to make about skipping an ether, like you can come back for a medallion, but in here in SMZ3, Myers is a tricky bit where you might just end up there without a great way back. Now, again, this might be another thing Osse is hoping not to have happen since we have a flute, but you still need a miss for that, and those can be in Meyer. So it's going to be the big chest. For just the peats apart. And I was totally thinking this was done, so they're just both here. Wow, okay. Last two items and basically the first two chests, even if we had to go get that big key from somewhere. So the mushroom could turn into something. Not going to see that right away. Helmet down for Rennyur. Doing it the same way Osse did, so now we'll come back here and clean up. And just a progress recap, we see here that Osse's ahead just with Rennyur following, but there are a couple of bugaboos. We'll have to see what they turn into. The ice rod is in wreck ship E-tank at the standing Chozo statue, so Osse was in wreck ship, did not get that at the time, but also skipped the bowling checks as well, so has more than one reason to go back. Just have to see if it happens. And then there's this thing with ether on Bumper Ledge that I guess we'll see A, if Osse goes back to before heading down further to like dig game, and B, if Rennyur picks it up on the first trip through. Ice beam here. Good piece of Turian equipment. So that's 5 items for Rennyur's out, and we'll do like Osse and follow him into Eastern. I'm going to pay attention this time, but yeah, I'm pretty sure there's 3 items where the first 3 chests. So not too bad for anybody. Good save there with the hook shot from that berry, that stupid conveyor belt. Yeah, Rennyur's counting 2. But yeah, that conveyor belt can run you into them on the second hit. The first one doesn't knock you off, the second one will, seems like. The last item on the boss here. This is a check we do though, regardless. Make sure it's not here. Blind for Osse. It's busy work, you just gotta get done. Now let's see what he does. Okay, a book, so a couple tablets and I guess a pedestal check, but I don't. You know, it could be something. We already have one of the pendants that we really didn't need otherwise. But I'm not gonna do it now. You're gonna have to make a trip for it. High jump. It'll help out for the rest of the game. There's Rennyur's visit to Bumper Ledge. Like, yep, we want that. More than likely. I'm stupid. We're all stupid. I'm sorry. That makes up for me catching Spike Cave early. We can't do it. At the very least, I'm stupid and nobody stopped me. Osse, you're going to watch this back if you actually make it to this point. 1,000 pardons. That's a good one. Happy Friday, everybody. Well, believe it or not, I don't need a glove for this. I had to think about it. Seemed to make the most sense after that. So 6 items could be a good chance of one being in here. And of course, if there is, it'll be a left side flooded room. Because I say so. I see one spawner down here. Couldn't honestly tell what the issue was with it. Setup maybe a little different than what I do, but it looked fine. So this is going to be a small key for Rennyur. It's guaranteed in SMZ3. It's not something most people remember, though. Truly the last chest as we find a quake here on the left side. So personally for me, the sooner we get these medallion checks the better, but we need at least one glove for that, and probably two, and we just don't have any. Yeah, these gloves are going to want a Varia suit, I believe. And whatever medallions there are, and it's just, once we find one of them, a bunch of stuff opens up. We did have a Zora visit from chats wondering, at least from Osse, but we all had the money, so I want to say they both did. It was just a 20. Left side flooded rune, second shield. Well, I tried. And nothing here either, so boss and or bust. Yeah, again, it was done bilaterally. I don't remember, but it was nothing. Gold sword, Argus is just a thing that exists. And silvers, for that matter, exists very, very briefly. I believe we saw our map and compass, so we'll probably want to go back in here. Swamp Big has. How about that? So what do we do with that? Usually first thing you think of, because you try to, is back of escape, but that was done. We had the key layout for it. Osse is going to check Bombos here and probably walk in a desert, that book we found in Brewery. Glove also being required to finish this dungeon. Yeah, maybe you can get back. So you could do it, but yeah. This is just direct shot for Magic Bat because it wasn't done. It doesn't actually require the glove, so maybe just happened to notice on a tracker. So that'll result in a cane. Red one even. I'll see having to think a bit here what he wants to do. You have a glove, so at least you can just get back to the Dark World, and I guess that's good. Rennyur's blind down as well. Already went to Brewery, gonna pick up Dig Game and things like that. Probably, like Osse, carried again through Swamp. The time gap is widening a bit. We're on the same route and we have been for about at least a half an hour. Yeah, so Glove does open Catfish all by itself all the way up here. And since the rest of this was done, there's not going to be a better time. From the looks of it, yeah, even though we could flute, we're going to go ahead and get this mushroom turned in as well. Okay, well, sure. We'll take it. Osse finding a glove, thinking it's both. No blame there. It's a psychological bug. Like when you go this long without the gloves, you gotta assume you're done finding gloves sometimes. A wave beam there, so it makes 3 bombs logical. That's about it. It could have, I say it could have Crocomire implications, but we already have a way down there. After Varia shows up, of course. So here's desert now for Osse. Feel alright about Varia in here, I don't know why. Swamp for Rennyur. Probably a full cleared as well, I'd have to say, and culminates in that glove is just, once again, wow. Plus 90 for gloves. Just a couple silvers, no more worm. And the final item, just another heart piece. If there's any other glove lock things, I don't know. Spike Cave. I do know. So like where Osse's going. Yep. Remaining options aren't great. I don't know what else there is. Osse does, knows about wrecked ship, but we're still not doing that. That's the book for up here as well. So a good way to put these together at least. That does help. That's not it. Okay, well, Rennyur may want the supers, but probably not a huge deal. I know I said I'd pay attention when Rennyur went through here, but that's the problem with saying that. Say if this is, I guess this is a green pendant, so yeah. Pedestal is going to be locked by Ice Palace, but we can get a one item out of this. I can see why I didn't want to do it before, especially with the fact that you can get back pretty easily, but indeed now you gotta go all the way through, get this big key, and do all this fun stuff. I mean, helpful for Osse is that wrecked ship, while it being an answer for something, is not the answer here. Now I know he knows about it, it's just gonna be last because that was the choice that was made. So hopefully this, whatever it is, probably just the mist, but hopefully whatever it is doesn't take too long to show up. Well, let's see. Yeah, that makes sense also. And still no minutes, so Osse is going for ether. But gotta do this long way, unfortunately. And yeah, as I realized after how long, 25 minutes, there was no way around this. You want to have this before you go into Lower Norfair and subsequently Mire, for sure. So this will be save and quit to the mountain or flute. Either way is acceptable, and off we go. Thought about maybe skipping Upper Norfair first, but we'll do that now. When this comes up, especially late like this is a choice you make to more or less simplify routing once you get to lower and Meyer. Cuts down on the number of revisits you have to make. You do this also hoping that something is just up here. And so in Osse's case, he's going to be looking for a couple things. One of them is not here. That's going to be in Wreck Ship E-Tank. So Rennyur's mushroom turn in for a lamp. We'll forego catfish, and yeah, that'll work out. There was nothing there. It's gonna get those supers and maybe a bug net as well. So, just a product of movement there, picking up the single. It was good that Rennyur got into that cape while still having 2 hearts, because for whatever reason, sometimes you'll get there and it does not become eligible for activation right away. So in the Ridley mouth hole for Osse, and see if a left or a right move happens at the bottom of the elevator. Like the other day, we've seen a couple times where somebody will just, yeah, go this way, and figuring you're gonna check anyway, and from the direction you're coming, if the left side is something, then you don't have to worry about wasting time on a revisit. Unless you're me and just fall down through the crumbles because you lost your space jump. But no concerns here. Just some money, and then of course, yeah, part of that decision is this loadout means that this fight is just trivial. So we can do Meyer now, and like I said, with Upper Norfair done, we don't have to worry about leaving that way and doing all that once we get toward the final check in LN Escape. We can just, you know, come back and dip down here if we have to, or just use it as an exit. But as we see, that ether was required. So yeah, this seed has got some tricks, that's for sure. I mean, all these things that have happened I've seen. It's not shocking to me, but it's not letting up. So for Rennyur back in Eastern Palace, which we know we need to do, and also for Rennyur, probably very, very little else to do. Rennyur has done all of Rick's ship, so if there's anything at all, I don't know what it is. Damn it, Ice Rod is Wreck Ship E-Tank. Rennyur has it, as you see. Osse does not. Has bowling to loop in with it, but it'll be a matter of when. Yeah, we've been tracking this. Osse has been ahead and is gaining time as Osse would do, but that outstanding is going to be a big question mark with how much of the game is remaining. It's your vanilla big key that nobody wants. Rennyur's Armos is down, as a silver loadout will let you do as quickly as you've seen here. So we'll have their Varia suit shortly. And like I say again, I don't think there's anything else to do but just use it. Got that flute out already. No matter what it is, you gotta go somewhere. I guess I saw that one item. I guess that's 2 out of Mire for Osse, so that's it. Further answers lie elsewhere. Yeah, so your chat's pointing out, I forgot about, Rennyur having to pick up Ether here. For Rennyur's knowledge, it's a good idea, quote unquote, but it is in fact necessary to avoid the revisit down here. Seeing as that Osse has 2 items out of Mire, from the looks of it, I guess it won't burn too badly. I mean, at least there's no mitts here, basically. Rennyur, I think, might be betting on Croc here. But going this way might be remembering about Ether. And or never checked that. I guess that's one possibility. So indeed, no Croc for now, because I wasn't sure, but I mean, it could be down here. We don't know yet. So Rennyur's not going to take the Chozo drain plug here and just check this way. And that'll work out. You know, we'll do the fight and everything. Quick gate glitch makes it a small game, I guess. So yeah, it's going to get the anxiety-inducing news here for Rennyur's purposes. But sticking with it will induce a high five from or between the runners here in Lower North here. Just got to come up with those mitts somewhere. And chances are very, very good at this point. They're just around Ridley somewhere. So, dead Ridley for Osse. We had a moon pearl here not long ago, and we were here a lot sooner, as you might expect. So, let's see. Nope. A D-boost through, I don't even know which thing he took damage from to get through that on the way back up. That's fancy. So shot through the key hunters to negate the hurt box. Just long enough to get through. Two more checks left on this route. And to go with that, 2 guesses on where the item is. Probably only need the 1. But it turns out it's not here either, so... Croc, yep. I was going to say help me out, but just remembered that. So if Rennyur did go into Croc earlier, that would have been likely to help out. It's not going to greatly affect anything. So you're going to get a clear of Upper Norfair from everybody regardless, I think. Guess I didn't see that Osse did not do these on his trip through the rest of Upper. Rennyur, saving supers, it's okay. The DPM goes down a little. I want to say 900 versus 600, but a slower shot. Second to last boss in the game for Osse, and eventually Rennyur. You can see how scary Croc is from here. Especially with that plasma, just kind of takes a few more hits than one expects him to. Osse apparently doing a thing to get the far door open here. The mechanics of which I still fail to understand, but gonna pick up what looks like a spike suit as well. You don't see as much in here, but it's... Yeah, I guess it allows you to get out of the room and across to that PB location with one less movement. Yeah, I never really... I know it's just... The shot to open the door, I understand it. I guess something didn't work right there, and there's those gloves. So yeah, Osse's gonna have to do the rest of this. I got that shot working, leaving wreck ship E-Tank, which is funny since we mentioned that. Osse has to go there. And it doesn't really do any good then, but it worked. Yeah, ped is open. It's doing Ice Palace alone. That would, you know, I don't know that anybody wants to run that way, personally. And when you see people, if you haven't seen, we have, you know, Skullwood's done that much you can tell, but the book came after that because we had to counterclockwise run around the Dark World due to no gloves and having ready access to said Dark World, so we couldn't easily check the pedestal. Nobody knows what it is. Osse looks like gonna wrap in Crumble Tower with this. And for once, I'm seeing a setup that I haven't seen before on this, and it's causing some issues. I wonder only if high jump is making whatever Osse's doing look a little bit better. Because, yeah, it can be hard to keep. Looks like what he was going for was just running the blue suit through the speed blocks. And of course, for the ped discussion, Ice Rod, for Osse's knowledge, could be there. I still don't know that that drives him that direction any better than whatever reasons currently exist. So yeah, this is going to be pushing progression as Osse's done for most of this, and it'll be hard to say it doesn't make sense, especially with all the stuff that's up here. That and what typically happens with Ice Rod more often than seemingly not. Just being in TR. Croc and miss subsequently for Rennyur. Did Osse? No, did not yet check. That's the thing we need to see. Check what TR's entry actually is. If it's Bombo, so I don't know, because there's just not many places that thing could be. So I'm guessing not. No, just set Ether again behind the cape on Bumper Ledge. Doubly required today, and Osse, as a result, is going to end up in here. So long as Rennyur remembers where Ether is, and I'd hope they do, this is going to be not actual go mode. It is for what we know, but might choose to... Okay. Thought maybe would choose to grab the rest of that in case of Bombos, but is just out of here. So if that's forgetting about the possibility, which I know I've done a lot of, then thankfully that will work out for Rennyur. So I'll say that is what Rennyur... I'll just say that's go mode. I think it would have to be at this point, as a flute to 3 there would suggest. We're going to get that Ether with mitts, so it'll be easier. At about 210 and change, I guess it would be. It sure is a weird seed. You know, always, I mean, there's always plenty to be called weird, but late gloves generally do not make a very fun overall seed. So Osse finding more dungeon items like they're at the big key chest location, just continuing to dig it out. You kind of have to when you're Osse here. So yeah, that's a good point, Chet. You'd have to reclimb the mountain doing it this way. Probably just a matter of forgetting that Meyer needed to be revisited. So while Rennyur has to do that, Osse is going to have to more or less clairvoyantly get into wreck ship right after this and scurry back to make up the time. It was discussed in chat for a long time, but it does indeed now seem like Rennyur's race to lose for sure. It just depended on Osse's decision making. The thing that would hurt Rennyur here just is seed related. The big key in mire is going to be probably one of the last things. Nobody really wants to do cutscene. So not having to clear out mire looking for anything won't save as much time as it could. And this is going to be Ice Palace for Osse here. Wreckship, like, you know, I said, I'm confident in saying Osse knows about it and has known about it the entire game, but it just doesn't exist in the plan. And you just make choices like that sometimes. And if, and well, more when, Osse does not find this in here before the boss, even if all the items are found, I'm sure the boss will get done just betting on Ped, really. Which unfortunately won't be anything. But yeah, Ice Rod would have to be here around Ped for Osse to win, and we know that, and I'm thinking even Osse knows that at this point. Strikes for Rennyur is going to be free. We've had those 4 swords for a long time. This seemed to more or less wrap up Ice Palace for Osse, and I never count dungeon items on columns, but regardless what it is, Osse's going to be finishing this. So if you're also late, like anything bad usually has a good element to it. You make it late enough, you don't have to do any mid stuff, and there's a lot of it, so that is good. I'd say Rennyur handled this seed about as well as anybody could have. It is worth mentioning, and Osse wouldn't know this, but I'll bring it up again. We had no knowledge on 2 of the pendants at the time of the Ice Rod's location, so we're thinking maybe it might not even have been needed, but this is kind of what's happening here as we do, and Osse does, in fact, need to go get that. It's going to look like staying Zelda now, though, and yeah, here comes Ped. This will be blind, I'm sure. So, bombs for Super Metroid and bombos remain outstanding. That's the best stuff we can find, though. We're checking it first. No blind. We're out of here. It's just an E-tank. And until you see a 4 button, he's staying here, so it's going to be Smith's Chain now. All the myth stuff. And again, for the knowledge you have, this was what makes sense. Oh. Getting told bomb module for morph balls and checkerboard, which I guess means everybody skipped it. I remember seeing the screen and everybody walking out of it. This is about it. So, yeah, by then I guess you wouldn't really care if you had them or not. Looks like, yeah, Rennyur's headed straight down out of where the big key is going to be, so this will be good. That blue crystal is at the end of his stick. We might have something, but not to be. Guess this will be Pyramid Fairy now. Run your spooky everything through the bottom of Mire. There were buckles, and then just like that, there were not. And 2 GT for Rennyur. It's fun with the bomb. Wish I would have learned years ago. Whenever you start a dash, or whenever the bomb isn't locked to your follower position, you start a dash, it will not detach, for lack of a better term. So you can use that to run around a few times. One of the things we were missing in here. Osse is headed to the portal to Meridia. But this was full cleared, so not 100% on it. Yeah, if this is Forgotten Highway, I am sorry to say that I don't know how it saves time over just a 4-button reset. That was a nice and easy big key for Rennyur. He's going to want to pick up one more. It's just going to be under this pot here. And that's it for the basement. That's nice to see. So I guess it could have been, yeah, that Osse just did not check the left sand pit. You know, he had some different kind of a routing the first time he was in here, but that is, as it was called by a couple people long ago, that just means wreck ship was known about and purposely avoided. Now, the other issue is on Osse sees it's in the E-tank location as opposed to in bowling. That's not going to feel much better. Because if you're going to skip any of them, it's usually the bowling. And it almost seems like he might know that to be the dynamic here, because he's just banking on everywhere where it isn't, everywhere that is bad. When you're in Osse's position, you are now going to have to, dig out any little thing you can, knowing full well that if it's wrong, it'll cost you more, but by then it doesn't matter, and as we know, it really won't. So the play makes sense for that reason. If you truly actually did forget E-tank, we'll see here once you get to the gravity suit location if he just stands still, basically. Yeah, so he knew about it. So this is going to be about 2:31:20, and as we say, Rennyur is going to be headed into Agatha just now. just has something to say here, and I don't blame him one bit. Nice piece of tech with the D-boost there to get out of the room. I like it. And pretty quick cycles for Rennyur on Aga 2. Nice patterns. So Osse's going to do turning now just on account of being in Super Metroid already. So the high fives have ended. But that would be a single G, as we say, for Rennyur. No more pig. And he's just now going to follow Osse into turn and be done. And pending things that we won't talk about for fear of cursing. Rennyur's going to go ahead on to face Gamachu in the semifinals. Try to get a shot off before running into that second one, just a little bit off on it. It's the one remaining thing, if you happen to have morph bombs, you can use to get out of this quicker than lagging through 3 power bomb deployments. A nice one-try speed kit for Osse, though. That's always good to see. It's hard, and if you can do it, it saves about as much time as the difficulty would suggest. But Rennyur will be meeting up with Osse shortly. The difference now being a revisit and trip through TR and GT as well, despite how quick GT was. Nice baby skip there from Rennyur. All these late game tricks here on display. I see now is stand up. So Osse, he's missing item for the long and getting either final boss done is not unimpressive. And we saw very clearly from both runners throughout this. Osse's, from my view, was just that much more pure, I guess. And if it weren't for that ice rod, I think has this. Right near in the perfect spot there. A little bit of lag, we pretty much get 4 shots per jump every time. So, normal brain. Get your GG's in for Rennyur. Like I say, is going to move on here now. Semifinals face Gamachu. Work cut out, as they say. I'll see with the rim. I'm seeing it and going to go ahead and call it in. GG's as well. So we're joined here now by Osse. GG's.
Hey, GG's. I'm here. Talk about the seed.
Yeah, appreciate it, but I mean, I gotta watch because I mean, I know that you know what you did, and I know you did it on purpose, and there's no, I don't blame you.
Yeah,
Those are
that's my most skipped location.
Yeah.
Just happens.
But
other than that, something I wanted to talk about was I could have done Norfair before Meridia, and that would have made the Dark World just much nicer. That's something I wish I'd done.
Hey.
Sorry. Today's winner, Rennyur. Welcome in, GG's.
GG's.
So, I don't think you told each other, but it's the Ice Rod, basically.
Yeah, so Ice Rod was Workship B-Tank, and that's a location that I skip as much as I can.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's understandable it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
I'm more in, like, I'm always thinking about skipping Wrecked Ship, the Gravity Vanilla location, and the 2 checks on the other side.
I did skip that too. And also, that's where Ice Rod was in one of my races with Farfalo. And he skipped it.
Yes, somebody in chat was pointing out that spot, and I guess it was something I didn't see, but it must have been what you were talking about. Guess I didn't know it was the same item as well. That's, yeah. But yeah, no gloves forever. Good job, though, both of you remembering Ether.
Also going through the Meridia loop like a thrice, right? Like you had to go there once, then going the full loop again for the for Dragon because you suspect an item there, and then going back and realizing that you get flippers afterwards, right? Like
I had flippers already. When I activated Flute, I got flippers on that trip.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. But for me, those were like 2 checks, and there was the whole of Meridia there, so I couldn't just do that. Didn't make sense for me.
I think I did that. I think I got Gravity after activating Flute, after doing those checks.
Yeah,
so I was pretty.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. That's a way better route than I had.
Yeah. So what would have been even better? So in normal logic, you don't normally want to do Upper Norfair without Variasuit. But in this case, you could have got a glove out of it. And that's something I didn't think about until I was already pretty into Meridia. But kind of wish I'd done that.
You could, I mean, you'd know the logic if you're good at remembering it, which I'm not, but it would at least give you less worry about how to get back into the Dark World for sure. Nothing else. If nothing else, but yeah. If anybody watches this back, I'm going to tell you now, apologies, because we were like, why is Osse leaving Ether right after Rennyur? went into Spy Cave without gloves, so I should have known why.
Yeah.
And I did not
In
know.
my- that's like a problem that I don't have auto tracker, right? So I just track when I have the time, and in my mind I had cape and everything, and I was in the dark world, so of course you have gloves. But I didn't have gloves, so I went in there knowing I could clear it normally if I'm not playing cross keys. So
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah, I wasn't playing across keys, so I totally expected to be able to do it, right? Yeah, I
yeah,
couldn't.
and
So
you
that's why I aborted it halfway.
you play any seed you play, especially you're in SMZ3, you play long enough, you just, and I've seen this on both sides, and I've seen it on myself. You just expect that you have them by a certain point. Like, so I'd even seen, a couple of dark rocks attempt to get picked up at like plus 2 hours because we didn't have gloves or some late point. You just expect to have these things, and we did. So
You had to focus on like what I couldn't do without a glove. Like, you can't do catfish. You can't get the bumper ledge.
I also went to catfish, realizing, hey, there's something that I can't do there.
Yeah. And then you get the
There were a
glove,
lot of
and I went to. It's like, oh, what can I clean up now that I have a glove? And it's like just the ether and the catfish. And they just feel really bad to actually go to now. Spike Cave.
yeah,
But it totally made sense to go that way, because if you went the south way, what we could have done is like we could have gotten the glove there, right? And then we could have done catfish and all that. But like you expect the glove somewhere, and in the worst case, like if the glove is not there, just going the top route is just a safer and better way. Just yeah.
I didn't even think about bottom route, and I guess I should have. I was expecting a swamp to maybe have progression kind of early on, but then the same items turned into being able to do a lot of Dark World. But didn't think of it.
I
I
guess
always like when I'm in Link to the Past. I don't know if it helps you, but that's like my kind of thought, that the bottom route is always filled with loot. Like there's swamp, that's 6 items. There's a hype cave, that's 5 items. There's Stumpy, that always has an item. Like there's. Okay, this time Stumpy didn't have an item, but most of the time Stumpy does have an item, and it's just packed with loot. And digging game is something that people sometimes skip, because in worst case you just lose 30 seconds for having a lot of digs and no item. But yeah, that's also a good location, right? Like bottom route is very valuable compared to doing Thieves Town, which is really slow, and Skyward's only having 2 items. So that was my train of. That's basically my train of thought when I'm doing Link to the Past. But in this case, it didn't occur to me. I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to go south route, then back all the way to the right side, then go top route. Yeah, that is what kept me.
So I also went directly to pod, since I could clear that out, and I did most of Eastern. I was wondering like when you got to Green Pendant, because I got the items and then left Green Pendant behind.
I did that too. Like I did pod, mirrored, and did Eastern, the first 3 items, and then I bailed out, because in my mind, we didn't have, and there's no way this in logic, and it takes forever after the 3rd item to go all the loop for the big key, and then for the boss for a green pendant, and then turn it in. Like that's a load of time I didn't want to waste at that point. And I was pretty sure that you would like that was just runners at this point in this bracket phase. Like we don't gamble that. Like just for one item, it's not economically worth to do it, right? Like we always go for the fastest checks at the fastest times and the most efficient clearing route.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who's gonna stay in Pendant Eastern after 3 in the front. So yeah, that's. I guess in a weird way you could have gotten that and wound up with the Croc Glove first, but none of that sounds appealing. Yeah, so.
Not really.
But GG's really. I mean, this is about as well as anybody can handle this, I think. So it was a good show, and I appreciate the two of you putting it on.
Yeah, thanks for racing, and I 100% expected you to come out on top on this one, but I guess Ice saved me.
Yeah, well, you're up to 3 wins overall in this tournament against me, so just everyone is so good at SMZ3 now.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's something I wanted to point out because I've done a number of these now, and you just kind of expect a 2.5 as just an average at this point, and I don't remember that ever really being a thing, but that's where we're at. This nasty seed, you know, added some time to that 240. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I think 230, 240 is like an average seed nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
I don't expect a lot of 3-hour seeds anymore. Like, that has to be kind of crazy like this one. And a lot of movement items are locked way in the back. That's also important. Like, if you just can't traverse Super Metroid really well, if you always have to backtrack and you don't get speed booster and you don't get high jump boots, that's a lot of time that you just lose out on if you don't get these items.
Okay, well, as we mentioned, it's Gamachu and Rennyur here. Your thread's up already. You can talk about it, and we'll keep an eye out as to when you guys are going to play.
I already checked Fred, but Gamachu hasn't, like, he's not online, so I can't make any assumptions on when we're about to race, but I can tell you all that it's probably around this time again. But
Okay.
the day is unclear.
Okay, I mean, that's fair. Good luck when you get there. And yeah, so let's see what else. I mean, final thoughts are welcome at any point. Gonna be moving on here with the...
Well, I just want to say thanks again for racing. It was a lot of fun, and Osse taught me so much, so it was really fun to race. Like, I learned, I don't know if you remember that, but like 2 or 3 years ago, you taught me after a match how to address the springball jump in Law and Warfare, and I wasn't ready at that point, but you taught me, and it's something I remember really fondly. So
Cool.
thanks.
Yeah. I'm all about teaching these days, actually. We're at the map rando with all the Super Metroid tech. But the tournament for me has been fantastic. Enjoyed all these races. Enjoyed my time. Like, I don't play much Link to the Past anymore, so it was a good revisit to that game. So I've had a lot of fun, and thanks to MM2 for leading the tournament, and thanks to Rennyur for making me give it my all to fight for my life and then lose.
So yeah, speaking of MM2, that'll be Game 3 versus Tony T Young here tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. No channel yet or crew, but we'll see, as we always do. I've been able to make some of these work, so that might be around 4. We'll see. However, that is going to be it for now. Further matches are, as the aforementioned, and the one that depends on what happens with this next match. So, GG's to everybody. Thank you to Fishing Boo for tracking, and thank you to Jestro for setup. And as is always the case, we will see you next mission.
Goodbye. See you next mission.